Okay, Apple. What the stock actually chosen is Apple. Why Apple? So this is based on your choice. Okay. We did this exercise in January, asking you what are some of the popular stocks that you want me to take a look at. Apple is one of them. So we actually have looked at Microsoft. We have done Tesla. We have done Nvidia. And of course now it's Apple. So we actually look at Apple right now. Okay. Apple, I think everybody knows Apple are quite easy. So basically, to be very precise, they are actually into this thing called consumer electronics. Consumer electronics, and of course, their main business is selling iPhone. Just to give you a sense of where is their money coming from? Okay, so this is their revenue. Okay, revenue stream by segment. So iPhone is the one. By the way, this is in millions. Crazy. Okay, their sales. Sales is 205 billion. iPhone global sales. Wow, quite crazy. There's so many people using iPhone. I'm actually quite surprised because now I'm still on iPhone 11. I have stopped buying. There's one point in time, every 2 years I'll buy iPhone, every 2 years, but I've stopped already. But you can see that the sales is actually still increasing. And you're talking about $205 billion of sales. Wow. Okay, Mac is 40 billion. iPad is 29. So of course, up and coming is wearables, your home and accessory. I think this is up and coming, 41, and you have services. Services is like, for example, some of the apps. Okay. Like for example, they actually talk about healthcare. They probably have some software for healthcare, for gaming. So it's about $78 billion. So predominantly still a phone seller. Actually, just curious. In fact, that day I actually saw one documentary. Of course, this is sideline. It's not the official, what they call it, research. So there's actually this guy predict that iPhone is only up to iPhone 20. After that, we will have something new already. Okay, so basically, like for example, last time we don't have handphone. Then until we have handphone. Okay, so there was one point in time Nokia. For those who don't know Nokia, that means you're very young. I remember my first phone was a Nokia 8810, the very small phone. Then after that, there's this evolution to become smartphone. So what this guy is actually predicting is that, iPhone, that means it's going to end at iPhone 20. That means after iPhone, there's something that come out. I also don't know what is it. So maybe next time we can use our finger to call or whatever. So just curious, maybe again, just take a poll. Do you believe that, I'm quite sure most of you actually will believe that there will be a endpoint to smartphone. So it's actually up to iPhone how many? Can I just get you all to share? Like that guy says iPhone 20. After that iPhone 20, then that's it. No more already. So for your, let's say for you to guess, we have iPhone up to how many? Now it's 14. Now it's 14. We will have iPhone to how many, what do you call it? How many models? Anybody can share? Or can make a guess? Up to iPhone what? Is it iPhone 20 or iPhone 30 or whatever? 40. Wow. Okay, you believe of 40. And anybody else? iPhone can go up to how many versions? Okay. Anyway, yeah. So personally, I also don't think that iPhone can be there forever. So this is my personal thoughts. So I'm not too sure whether this growth can be forever. This is my personal opinion. Of course, if anyone disagree, feel free to comment. That is what I thought too. Okay, so what I want to show you here is, besides phone, so in fact, they are doing a lot of other interesting things as well. Okay, like for example, they have healthcare. So this is more of the software part. Okay. So more of the software part. So apparently, I think they have some apps and things like that that can let the doctors communicate better. Of course, we have the health on Apple Watch, so on and so forth. Education. You have things like Apple One, Apple TV, Apple Music. So this is, I believe, the service part which they're talking about. Then, of course, some you actually shared selling cloud storage. Here's some comments. So long, no better question to them will stay in this tag. Thank you. Eric, Neuralink starting human testing. Chip implanted. Yeah, maybe. Thank you so much. Up to maybe 30. iPhone 20, only 6 years time. Thank you so much. Thanks for sharing. Thank you so much. Okay. So I just want to give you a view of, besides iPhone itself, there's a lot of things that Apple is doing. Okay. Of course, you can get all this from the Apple website itself. Okay, in terms of geography, you can see that these are the main buyers for their product. US is increased by 11%. Europe also more or less is the growth has sort of been stagnant. China also, the growth is okay, more or less quite stagnant already. Okay, coming off. Japan, in fact, has actually came down. Rest of Asia. Also, you can see that basically the growth has sort of start to come off. There seems to be approaching a peak for the sale. So something to think of. I'm not saying that the sale is coming down, but the growth for iPhones and things like that seems to be reaching a peak. Okay, something to think of. Okay, quite interesting. I was looking for the chairman's statement. I cannot find any. Okay. So I was just reading some site reports. I'll just Google some reports. So there's actually this article quite interesting called CB Insight. So they actually say that Apple, they are quite secretive about their strategy. They are quite secretive about their growth plans, so on and so forth. Okay, I didn't know that. So what this guy did is this, or this report, what they do here is this, they actually tracks what Apple has been acquiring. What are some of the companies Apple has been acquiring to have a sense of what is the next growth engine for Apple. Then he realized that, or in fact, this article realized that they're also going to places like AR, VR, augmented reality, virtual reality, digital health, machine learning, AI, and semiconductor advanced material. So basically the wearables. Also, these are some of the new areas that Apple is slowly going into. So I can't find any official word by Tim Cook saying that, oh, how much they're going there, so blah, 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 so on and so forth. So in fact, this guy is only guesstimate from the kind of company acquisition that Apple has been doing. Okay. But yes, Apple is definitely still a growing company. As you can see, it just so happened that I don't have any numbers to justify how much growth are they going in. I did the 6 tests, not exactly what I like to see. Can y'all see which are the tests that they fail? Fail at least 2 tests. What are the 2 tests that they fail here? Anyone can help me here? Failed 2 tests. Which are the 2 tests that failed here? Yeah, I think my chat. Thank you so much. Current ratio and debt equity. So current ratio is less than 1, or this one is my main concern. This is why I really hate it. Then debt equity ratio is 6 times. It's actually quite highly leveraged. Okay, even though it's quite common for US companies, but something I'm quite uncomfortable with. So failed 2 tests. So yeah, not something I'm very happy about. Okay, I did some pricing analysis. So again, I'm actually going to send to you all the DCF. model. Is this for Apple? No, this is not for Apple. Okay, I'm actually going to send you all this. You all can go and play around. So I've actually have done DCF for Apple. Okay. And I actually get a fair value of only $94, by the way. Okay, and this is already based on the growth rate of 11%. Revenue growth rate about 11%. Okay, I am looking at a fair value of $94. And today's price is 177. Okay, 177. What is their cash balance? Do I have the numbers here? Let me see. I do. $23 billion. This is in million. Yes, this is in million. So we are looking at $23 billion. This is the cash value. Okay, $23 billion. Their debt is 120 lah. Okay, by the way, for this chart, what I use is total liability. Okay, a lot of people like to just use the debt. I use total liability. So to be precise, it's actually liability lah. Okay, that's for personal lah, my personal one. If you look at just debt alone is better, but personally, I like to look at liability lah. Okay, so it still doesn't meet pass my test. Okay, and yeah, talking about the cash is 23 billion. Okay, let's look at the pricing. So of course, it's overvalued based on my DCF. My DCF value is 94. Current price is 177. I actually did some comparables. I compare with, does it pass if it's based on total debt? Okay. Let me see if I have the numbers. I always use liability lah. We can look at it very quickly. So what I did here is this: I actually use, I use either Finance, Yahoo, or use Finviz.
You mean?
Yep.
I was just Googling what is their cash balance, and Morningstar is saying cash hot quarters end. Apple had a stash of 166 billion in cash on its balance sheet. After accounting for 110 billion in cash in debt, net cash total 57 billion. This is May 10, 2023.
Okay. We can look at the annual report now. Give me 1 minute. Yeah, maybe I can just pull out the annual report just to confirm that again. Anyway, for oh yeah, mine I think I used the FY 2021. FY 2022. Okay, debt equity, hold on. Okay, debt equity is 176. Okay, but this one is not liability. So if you actually want to follow this, well, yes, it's less than 2, but okay lah. You know, it's up. Okay, I mean, like I said, there is some personal element here. So to me, I look at liability lah. A fail is a fail. If you want to just use this, yeah, it's a pass lah. Okay, of course, you don't necessarily have to use my benchmark. Okay, Wai Kiong, right? I will actually, why don't I just pull out their annual report, then we can discuss. Okay, let me see whether I still have it here. The balance sheet. Net cash is 23 lah. So Arvin, this is what I get. Maybe what they are talking about is current asset, is it? You're saying what number is that, Arvin? Is it 130 something? Arvin, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Morningstar,
136, is it something?
166 billion of cash on its balance sheet.
Don't have
After
all.
accounting for 110 billion in debt, net cash total 57 billion.
Net cash total. I
Yeah,
only
net
have
cash.
23. Maybe what I can see is, let's see whether the latest one. There are only 24. So unless they are talking about plus the marketable securities.
Yeah, looks like it, right?
Okay, yeah, probably they add the markets for you still have 50 something about that. Yeah.
57, correct.
Yeah, about that. Okay. Thank you. Okay, then the difference between debt and liability. Yeah. Okay. So for example, liability, you include things like account payable, current liabilities, okay, other current liabilities, so on and so forth. Whereas debt is just borrowing from the bank. Okay, Wai Kiong, I hope I answer your question. So liability include like things like your payable, like for example, tax payable or other current liabilities. Okay, whereas when I talk about debt, it's just purely borrowing from the bank. Okay. Great. So let me just come back. Thanks for all the questions. So don't be shy. Keep asking questions. I think it's very good for everyone to learn. Okay, so based on DCF is expensive. Okay, let's look at it from comparables. So what I did here is this: I actually compare with some other US stocks which is about the same size, or either that similar size. So I compare Microsoft and Nvidia. Based on PE, is actually not too bad. PE is a 30 times, whereas Microsoft 35.9. Nvidia is crazy, 200 over times a PE. So those ones you buy Nvidia, yeah, you must be very bullish. Okay. And yeah, PB, I don't think it's a good gauge here, but if you want, can use for reference. Okay. But if you are to compare with other phone makers, Samsung and Xiaomi, which is a lot smaller, so 30 times PE is not exactly very cheap also. Okay, just to give you a sense. Okay, so this is what happened here. Like I said, the DCF is not like a hard Bible. It's just for me to do scenario analysis. So what happened here is this. Okay, based on the beta, the required return is 12%. So let's say given that it's actually quite a stable stock, quite a stable stocks. So I probably can actually put that my required return as 10%, 10%. So with that, I think the maximum price I will actually go is actually 1 to 1. 1 to 1. Okay, I think that's a price probably very attractive. Or you can put it this way, you can play around. So let's say, for example, to achieve the price of today, 177, you can play on this number. So let's say 20%. 20%. Okay, yeah. So do you believe that there can be growth about 20% per annum over the next 5 years to justify this number? Okay. I actually did something extra here. Okay, usually I don't do this, but because I actually look at US stocks more for options, that's why I look at this. You can see that now the price has actually shoot up. So in fact, it has actually went down to $120 range before. Okay, so I believe if I pack at 120, that is a good chance. There's a good chance. I mean, there's a possibility for me to actually get. Sorry, this 160 billion, I don't know where you get this number from. So just now we talked about it, it's only 57 billion. Okay, so anyway, having cash and having debt is two separate things. A lot of the richest people are those that highest in debt. Okay, it doesn't contradict. Doesn't mean that you have cash, you have no debt, or you have no cash, that means you have debt. No. Like for example, even ourselves, do I have cash? No, I have cash in the bank. Do I have a debt? No, yes, I have housing debt. So they are not contradictory. So Andrew, hope that clarifies. Okay, so let me just summarize about the price. Again, I just want to share my personal opinion. So if you ask me, at the current price of 177 today is a bit expensive. Okay, it's a bit expensive. Okay, why is that so? So number one, I actually based on my DCF said 94, so 177 is expensive. Okay, so in order for me to justify 177, okay, as per what I've done, I must believe that they can actually grow by 20%. Okay, their revenue can grow by 20%. So in fact, let me just share with you this website, Finance Yahoo. Okay, I have been using this Finance Yahoo. Okay, they have this part called analysis. So this is, they actually go and do a poll to all the research analysts, and they actually do give growth. Okay, growth estimate, as you can see here. Yeah. Okay, so so for AAPL, in fact, they are probably about 10% growth next year. Or next 5 years per annum is 8%. So of course, whether you trust this number or not is up to you, but I think this is the best I can get. So I don't think they can really achieve a 20% growth. 20% growth. So if you ask me, if you ask me, I wouldn't want to put this as 20. Okay, I'll just switch it back to my 11%, which is average. I think it's actually quite fair. Again, unless I'm very clear about the growth plan, but yet their growth plan is actually not very clear. So yeah, they are going to VR, going to AR, going to machine learning, but how big is it going to be? How successful is going to be? That one, I don't know. So I am not confident to really raise this number to 20%. So in that sense, to me, 177 is expensive, especially when I see that based on the charts, it's actually on the high side. So personally, I wouldn't be touching this stock right now. Okay. And again, of course, as per what I just said, I didn't pass the 6 test. The probability of correction is high, and there is I am not clear on the growth plan. Unless you are very clear on the growth plan, unless you know Apple well, you are very clear of the growth plan, you are quite confident that they are capable of getting 20% per annum. Yeah, then probably this price is good. If not, I don't think it's a good price to get at. Okay, so from what I have read, they use that very clearly for tax purposes. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Will you consider including stock buyback yield together with dividend yield? Will you consider including stock buy? I'm not too sure what is that stock buyback yield.
Hello,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
for US companies, they tend to buy back their own shares,
Okay.
more than giving out dividends.
Okay.
So perhaps by including the share buyback yield plus the dividend yield, you may have a better idea on how much they actually reward the shareholders. I'm just thinking.
I don't even look at dividend yield for US stocks. Okay, number one, if I want dividend yield, I won't touch US stocks because it's taxable. Okay, US dividend is taxable for information. So when I buy US stocks, I am definitely not for dividend. Okay, so it's more for the price.
Okay, sure. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, any questions or comments? Hope I made it quite clear. And again, what I'm trying to say is that is what the spreadsheet allow you to play lah. Can play. So what I did here was this. Let me just repeat how I use this spreadsheet. Number one is like what is the maximum price I will go. Okay, like for example, if you believe like this is like a value stock, it's not really like growth stocks. Okay, if you want, you can actually lower it down to the market level, which is 10%. So in this case, my maximum price is 121. Actually, it's still overvalued. So the other thing I do is how to justify for 177. I play around with this number. So let's say 15%. Okay, haven't hit 177, 20%. Then we'll hit. Then I ask myself, am I confident that, this company, the revenue can grow by 20% for the next 5 years? Okay, my answer is no, because I go and check the Yahoo. They said no, probably grow by 10%. And I am not very clear of their growth plan. Okay, maybe somebody know, I don't know. Okay, I'm not confident 20%, so I think it's overpriced right now. Okay, hope this is clear.